All right, so for your assignment for today, you're going to finish up working on your investing for income and growth spreadsheet. I'm just going to show you a couple of helpful tips that will not only help you finish your project, but also make it look nice as well. So the key is once we get all of our data into our spreadsheet and making sure that all our formulas are working properly. You could do that by just changing some of the numbers. So, for example, if I wanted to make sure that all my numbers are correct, if I wanted to change the shares of Pepsi from 50 to 75, I would see that my costs and my market value are changing properly. Okay? Uh, Once you get all of those formulas entered in for the cells that you are using formulas, uh, for example, this Google Finance, I put these into directions, but there's that blue dot on the bottom there. I can click and I can drag that, and that will automatically fill that Google Finance formula with the rest of those cells. Same thing with cost, market value, yield, and annual dividend payment. Now, there's a couple things that we want to do to make sure this is just helpful to keep track of how much money we're spending. Uh, Again, we have $100,000 and we want to make sure that we have enough money for both income and for growth. Um, so, uh, for cost, I want to see how much money did I spend. If I go to the cell right below all of my cost data and I hit the equal sign, you'll probably get a suggestion from Google Sheets. That's how smart they are, of what you're trying to calculate. And yes, for me, I want to calculate the sum of those numbers. And it shows that I have spent about $70,000 uh, just on income investments. I can do the same thing for market value. That will tell me how much the value of my investments currently is. And I'll show you some things that you can do to highlight those. And then I can bold that, I can italicize that. And then the same thing, I want to see what is my total annual dividend payment. So again, it gives you a suggestion, put the sum in. So I would be making about almost $2,000 a year on an annual dividend payment. The other things you'll see here, I simply just added some color to make it look not so boring. So you can click and drag, and if you go up to the paint bucket, you can select any colors that you want. Just try to avoid, for example, I want to avoid a color like that. That's a little difficult to read. So light colors on the background. Dividend payment, I'm going to make kind of a greenish color. I'll leave the blue ones as is. Right? And then same thing for your growth. You can change some of the colors. We also want to make sure that we see what our total cost is for our investment. So you can see between the two, I spent close to 100,000. You don't have to be exact. And then I can also see how much my portfolio is worth, uh, right now. Okay. Last thing that I'll show you, and this would be once you've got all of your numbers entered, is we want to create a way, or we want to tell the spreadsheet to give us an indication of, am I making money or am I losing money on a particular investment? Okay. So for example, I'm going to select the market value column. I'm going to go up to format, and then I'm going to go up to conditional formatting. And I want to tell the market value that if this number in the market value column is greater than the cost, which would be cell E2, then I want it to turn green, right? Then I go ahead and click done. You can see these would be the investments that have increased in value. Likewise, I want to do it where if the value is less than equals E2, I want that to turn red as an indication that I could potentially be losing money at that time. That doesn't mean that I have lost money. Obviously, these would be unrealized gains or losses. You could do that with the same thing on the growth page as well. Okay? So make sure you have your notebooks that have your instructions in them, and make sure all of the information, all of your formulas are entered correctly in the first row, and then everything else should kind of work as long as we're entering those formulas correctly.